Namaskar, I am Abhishek Kumar, Advocate of Allahabad High Court. Today's deliberation is focused on the admissibility of evidence retrieved through scientific technique administered on accused or witnesses uh, in the court of law. The scientific techniques which are applied for retrieving of the evidences are polygraph, narcoanalysis test, and brain electrical activation profile. These three techniques are the subject matter of this deliberation. Polygraph, which is in common language search as a lie detector test, is conducted by applying several machines and equipments on the body of the subject, which are normally cardiograph, pneumograph, cardiocuff, etc. And after applying the said equipments on the body of subject, the subject is placed before the numerous questions which he answers, and at the same time, the equipment attached to his body records his behavioral response like blood pressure, flow of blood, and respiratory fluctuation. Having uh, been over the questionnaire session, thereafter the behavioral response recorded by the equipments are tallied with the answers given by the subject, and thereafter it is inferred as to whether the answers given by the subject is reliable or credible or not. In the narco analysis test, the subject is administered an intravenous drug which takes him to hypnotic state where the subject becomes less self-conscious and his hypnotic trance state compels him, when the questions are put to him, to reveal even very personal things which he could not have revealed in his normal state. In brain electrical activation profile test, the subject is also attached with certain equipments which records the reading of his brain when the subject is exposed to some event, and the brain reading recorded by the instrument makes it clear as to the subject was familiar with the event or not which was exposed to him during the conduction of the brain electrical activation profile. Now, question arises that the uh, evidences retrieved or the statements retrieved through said scientific test can be admissible in the evidence or not. In this regard, in the Selvi versus State of Karnataka, Honorable Supreme Court has stated the said judgment is reported in AIR 2010 Supreme Court at page 1974 that no one can be compelled or forced to be subjected to these scientific tests, as everyone is protected by Article 20 subclause 3 of Constitution of India, whereby he has right to keep silence in regard to the questions put to him. It is also stated through the said judgment that if someone volunteers to be subjected to these scientific technique tests, then he can be subjected to these tests, and his evidences retrieved through the said technique examination would be recorded, but the statements recorded through these techniques or the readings recorded by these techniques are not per se admissible in the uh, evidence in the court of law. So, even if a person is volunteering for being subjected to these scientific tests, his statement or the readings obtained therefrom is not admissible in the evidence. But the certain window has been kept open by the Supreme Court in the said judgment that on the basis of the evidences retrieved from these scientific tests, if some other evidence is obtained, then the subsequent evidence obtained on the basis of the retrieved evidence through the scientific techniques can be reliable in the uh, and admissible in the evidence during the trial under the Indian Evidence Act, more particularly Section 27 of the Indian Evidence Act. So, meaning thereby retrieving the evidence by these scientific texts are totally inadmissible in a court of law, but on the information received through the said evidences, scientific evidences, if some other information is obtained or recovered, then the other information, subsequent informations can be proved under Section 27 of Evidence Act, which says how much statement of accused or witness can be proved in the court of law. Expectantly, the viewers must have comprehended these complex topic through this video. Thank you very much. Stay indoor, stay safe.